Good evening, I'm Brendan Miller. We begin tonight with a Crown Street home that was destroyed in a fire that broke out this morning due to a suspected gas explosion. Neighbors speculated the fire began between 11:30 and 11:45 a.m. Emma Chilton reports.
Holy, look at the heat.
The three-story home was completely engulfed in flames and required a full city response and additional backups. Firefighters patrolled Hillcrest Park to ensure the safety of the community, while Crown Street, Cornwall Avenue, and High Street were completely blocked off with fire trucks and first responders to control the dangerous scene. Stephen Vincent, platoon chief, said the initial call came in as a possible explosion and structural fire.
Initially, our first arriving officer called a second alarm, and then due to the extent of the fire and the buildings on both sides, we called a third alarm, which emptied the city of resources. And so we had individuals called in on their time off to man trucks so that we can still respond in town.
The source of the fire is yet to be determined. Due to the nature of the way the call came in, the Ontario Fire Marshal will be notified and likely be attending for an investigation. It is unknown if the person was in the home at the time, but 3 people have been treated at the hospital as a result of this. There was no damage done to the neighboring homes and no firefighters were injured. The neighborhood residents watched with concern as the home was being completely destroyed by the fire. And being so close to Christmas, this is nothing short of a tragedy for the family. Emma Chilton, TBT News.
City staff are recommending delaying a report on the red light camera program. That's up for discussion at Monday's City Council meeting. Administration is asking for the report to be pushed back to early next year. That comes after a previous delay a few months ago. It's a provincial program that would introduce red light cameras at certain intersections across the city. The cameras would capture images and ticket drivers who run red lights. In 2021, the previous term of council voted against joining the program, wary of the $875,000 annual cost. Beginning Monday, the Care Bus, run by Norwest Community Health Centers in partnership with Thunder Bay Indigenous Friendship Center, will run for the 5th straight year. Their aim is once again to provide crucial health and support services for the more vulnerable people during the winter months. Last winter, the Care Bus helped nearly 11,000 people. Most notably used as a warming center, it also provides the unhoused with low barrier transportation, additional food, and safe use drug supplies. In addition, harm reduction workers will be on board to assist clients with setting up appointments at primary care facilities, the hospital, or withdrawal programs. CEO of Norwest, Juanita Lawson, also mentioned pop-up clinics that will be offered as well.
Working with the public library, and so or with Grace Place and with our Thunder Bay District Health Unit, but we'll also be looking at offering them here at Norwest Community Health Centre. So it really depends on the type of service.
This year we are also offering outreach support, and we also have our treatment and aftercare coordinator on the bus this year and our Indigenous mental health and wellness worker as well. So we'll be able to provide a lot of services and supports to people who are really pushed to the margins in our community.
The Care Bus will run every day from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m., starting and ending at Norwest. If there's a cold weather warning, hours could extend as early as 9 a.m. First-year marketing students at Confederation College hosted their upcycled market days this past week. All proceeds will be donated to the college's emergency student food bank. Jaden Billick has more.
Students here in the Shunya building are selling products they created out of recycled and repurposed materials. A record-breaking 138 first-year business students from 4 college programs participated in this 4-day enterprise challenge, including digital marketing and marketing analytics. First-year business marketing student Kason Tagash was selling golf club head covers and shares his experience.
I honestly was surprised we were going to make a lot of sales because there's not really much golfers around here. We were kind of hoping for the golf team. None of them showed up, so it was kind of a bummer, but we had some very helpful students, very amazing students helping us out. Someone's dad bought 3 head covers, which was amazing.
The Upcycle Market project has been running for about 15 years and has raised a total of $14,000 for the student food bank. Some of the products up for sale here include crystal lamps and fortune tells, recrafted beer bottle plant holders, and even handmade jewelry. Marketing Program Coordinator Christina Baraskowicz says this year, the students are halfway to their goal of raising close to $3,000, doubling from last year's $1,600 profit.
When we first start this project, the students are like, oh my gosh, like what are you asking me to do? Because it is a very practical project, right? And then as we get through closer to the weeks and we get up to market days, the students are extremely nervous because they're not sure what to expect and how many people and if their product's gonna sell and whatever else. But as soon as they make that first sell, you can tell on their faces, they get super excited, they're ready, like they're almost yelling down the halls to tell me about it.
Baraskowicz says the upcycle market is meant to teach students a better understanding of business in an operational sense, as well as promoting sustainability for customers and clients. Jaden Billick, TBT News.
Mount Baldy is the first ski hill open in the province this season. The doors open Saturday, 11 a.m., and skiers and snowboarders couldn't be happier. The ski hill says the crew worked 6 days straight making snow to have the hill ready for this weekend. The bunny.
It's been a good turnout. Yesterday was pretty amazing. A lot of people are psyched. They're pretty shocked that we made snow that fast in basically, like I said, 6 days. And the temps weren't that cold, but we have warm guns that can make things happen. So our crew's working hard day and night. We're going 24 hours. Now we're going to try to connect the dots on the mountain, and hopefully next weekend we'll shoot for it to try to get the lift open, and we'll get the gold going.
They made snow. They did an amazing job here at Mount Baldy. I can't believe, like, you know what I mean? For December 1st, this is incredible. We're out here having fun with our friends. Like, you know, after last year, they're really trying to make up for it, right? I mean, make that snow, get people out here, and just create a lot of excitement in our ski and snowboard community.
I'm snowboarding. I like going down the hill.
The Bunny Hill and the Magic Carpet are the only hills open right now, but they are hoping to open the tubing and ski lift by next week. As temperatures drop, the hill will continue to make more snow and open all of the runs. For more information, you can go on their social media pages. Officials with First Mining Gold are optimistic their planned Spring Pole gold mine project east of Red Lake could start construction as early as 2027. A recently completed environmental impact statement could clear the path for construction. The next major milestone is getting environmental assessment approval, hopefully by the end of 2025. First Gold CEO Dan Wilton estimates that construction could and would take 3 years and be completed in 2030 if all goes well. Cat Lake and Lac Seul First Nations have acknowledged receipt of the environmental impact statement in a November 12th letter to First Mining and federal and provincial officials. The two First Nations will complete a sufficiency review of the document by the end of January under the Kitakina process. Wilton says First Mining is proud to be funding a process agreement with the two First Nations.
We've been in discussions with Cat Lake, and the important, I think, thing to focus on for us on that front is we announced a few weeks ago that we've agreed to fund really what is a groundbreaking Anishinaabe-led impact assessment that Cat Lake and Lac Seul First Nation are working on.
The process agreement is intended to provide a framework for the company and the First Nations to proceed with procedural clarity and meaningful participation in the review of the Spring Pool Gold project. Some Greenstone residents are up in arms over the possible closure of two recreation centers. The Beardmore and Mackinac community centers have each an arena and a curling rink, and they're both up for possible closure as the municipality tries to cut expenditures. Justin Hardy has the story.
Residents in Nakina and Beardmore feel the closure of their community centers would be a terrible idea. Both buildings require significant capital upgrades. The municipality of Greenstone is considering closing them as a cost-saving measure and then eventually replacing them. Greenstone is comprised of the former towns of Geraldton, Long Lac, Nakina, and Beardmore. Eric Rutherford was the last mayor of Beardmore before amalgamation. He says the closure of their town's complex would be detrimental to the whole area, including nearby First Nations who also use the facilities throughout the year.
Not only do we lose our ice skating surface and our curling surface, but we lose that community hall. And that's an invaluable asset when it comes to conducting a funeral service for one of our residents who may have passed on, or conducting a marriage for a family that might be entering that stage in their life, along with numerous dances and community events.
The complex is also used as an emergency reception center, and it has also served as a place of shelter for people stuck in highway closures. In October, Greenstone heard deputations for preserving the Beardmore and Nakina community centers. Mayor Jamie McPherson says his council will be taking the concerns raised by community members into consideration when making the final decision.
It's important to take all the voices of everyone back to council, and there's the Beardmore ward, there's also the Nakina ward, who's facing the same situation with their facilities. So we are having the consultation, having the discussion, and council will make the decision based on the information that is received by council and the proposals that are given to council.
Council began deliberating the closure in September, and decision on whether to close the facilities has been deferred to mid-April. Justin Hardy, TBT News.